Before we jump into this episode, let me just tell you that you can get 30% off the BTS Academy if you use the bonus code WSOP 2023. But be quick, because they're only going to be offering this for a limited time. Again, that bonus code is WSOP 2023. 2011 to 2014. I know Hendon Mob doesn't really show the true picture, and what you're looking at there is gross earnings. But nevertheless, you must have taken a big chunk of money in those 3 years, probably the biggest chunks. I mean, you can tell me if it's not biggest chunks on that live tournament scene. What contributed to that success, do you think?
Yeah, I think at that time, I was very mentally strong, I was very my guideline was there is no issues in life, only if you make them up in your head, which is true, but it's also it's not true because, we are humans and we have all these programs running that make up problems, so it was not like it was lacking a lot of compassion, but I got that, okay, it's all made up. And I could see all the problems they make up in their head, And I was like, I would sit at the table and I knew already at the time, if I'm staying positive, I'm winning. If I'm thinking I'm winning, if I'm thinking I'm better than the others, if I'm thinking I'm playing good, if I'm staying positive, I'm crushing them. And at that time, I think I was the only one in the high stakes scene who believed in these kind of things, that your mental attitude is so important. And now everybody is talking about it, but back in the days, nobody was aware of these things, And it was really overwhelming for the others, I think, that this kind of strength, that they started also believing then that they were inferior, If I always pretended I know, I know how to play. This is how you play. There were no solvers, So whatever I would do, it would be the play,
Yeah. You was the solver.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I was actually really better than the others strategically, but they believed really I was better than them. So, and then I was better than them,
How did that period impact your ego?
Yeah, my ego went through the roof, and that's another lesson poker will teach you. Everybody goes on an upswing sometimes, and then your ego will go through the roof, and that got crushed very, very quickly, very quickly. The year after, I lost all of it and I couldn't win against the weakest competition anymore. And I lost my kind of, you just got to be happy, and my mental strength. I really lost that very, very quickly. And and I had to find a new base, than this blind happiness, we're going to win. It didn't work out anymore, And I mean, it's a great advice to stay positive, positivity, Phil Helmuth,
I was going to say, Phil Helmuth, yeah.
It's a great advice at some point of your life, but it's at some point it won't work out anymore neither,
Let me share a personal story, and then you can embellish more on yours. So I was an excellent little soccer player when I was younger, head and shoulders above everybody. I won Player of the Year award from age 10 through to age 18 every year, right? But something happened around 16 when I was drinking a lot and I was smoking a lot, and and I didn't train as hard. But also the players around me, they got bigger, they got faster, they got stronger as I stopped growing. And obviously the alcohol and the cigarettes and everything was like dragging me down. So there's an example of so many different elements combining to actually take me off my pedestal and bring me down a peg or two, right? Like, so you just said like the happy-go-lucky thing didn't work anymore, but what were the elements, do you think, the key, maybe 2 or 3 key elements that really...
I have to put the dog away here.
Okay, you put the dog away. Yeah, what were those key elements? Did you get in with the wrong crowd? Did you just ball it too much? Did you go on a mushroom trip that lasted a year? Like, what happened?
I think it's a natural journey, and I've seen it with so many people, like this kind of always the same process. It seems to me like the people go from, oh, I can do it. I can, like, first they're in the victim role and life sucks and so on. And then they go into like, I can fight. I can make my life decent. I can make it. Then they learn how to fight really well, and they get kind of positive, very positive and excited, and they see the future as positive. And we look up to them. These are already in our society very high, You can achieve, you can make $1 billion with this mindset, and you can achieve amazing things already with this kind of attitude. But then it comes to the point where even that doesn't work anymore. And before that comes, I see everybody going down. Everybody really going down in some kind of shithole. And then they usually come to me and say, Phil, what's wrong with me?
You're like, oh, don't worry about it. It's natural.
I want to kill myself. I'm going crazy. I lost all my money, my wife. And then comes a point where people get more into acceptance and to live here and not in the future anymore. And to try, and then they usually start really working on emotions and deeper reasons for the problems, and then purpose becomes more important. What do I really want? What's my role in this life,
I guess it's also hard to keep your foot on the gas, right? Like, imagine what it takes. And like, obviously poker has that element of luck as well, but imagine the dedication and the time and effort. I know in my life outside of poker, when I've been really dedicated and put time and effort in, there's a sacrifice that comes with it. And there's a certain energy deficiency because you're like going at it. And then at some point, if you're not equipped and you take your foot off the gas, you very quickly start going downhill. And I guess the key is, how do you take your foot off the gas and still being able to operate with the best? And I think you nail it a little bit there, and when it's about presence, right? I mean, obviously it's not the panacea of what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot more to it. But that's got to be really important, right? It's taking responsibility and being present.
Yeah, and we never learned it, and nobody told us. Nobody told us how to take the foot off the gas. Like, there's some people know how to take the foot off the gas. They don't know how to put the foot on the gas.
And some brake too hard.
Yeah, exactly. And the other type of people, they only know foot on the gas and only future, work, let's and always do something for the next moment. And I was one of these people, and I haven't learned from anybody how to enjoy, how to relax, And if you don't know how to relax, and then suddenly your drive to work falls away, I don't want to work anymore, this doesn't feel right anymore. and then you don't know how to enjoy it. This is where I think most people go in a midlife crisis, this kind of thing. They have enough money, they don't want to work anymore so much, and and then comes this emptiness, and it's a very difficult time for many people, and was for me too.